I think in this economic crisis that we're living in, it is quite clear now that it is important to have some sort of additional income, that having one income is not sustainable and quite doesn't help you to meet all the needs that you might need to meet in your day-to-day life. And so the need of having another stream of income or multiple streams of income has risen. And so on today's video, we're going to be looking at side hustling or side hustles, and we're just going to be looking at it on a different perspective, because when you guys suggested this video idea to me, I really wasn't sure if I wanted to create a video on it, and mainly because I felt like the answers that you guys are looking for is something that I cannot give you. Firstly, because I do not believe in those things, but also because I really want us to look at side hustles differently. I want us to learn to look at side hustles differently and not something that you need to do for quick cash, because if you do that, you're always going to be hopping from one thing to the next and always feeling like it's just not working. And so I want us to look at this holistically and just focus on you. And I'm hoping that as you're watching this, you're going to take this and actually spend time to ask yourself important questions and get to know yourself in terms of your strong points, so that you can be able to step into the part of creating an additional stream of income in a way that it is fulfilling to you. With that being said, let's get into the point of this video. So firstly, let me introduce myself. My name is Jen Ngumalo. If you're new here, I do hope that you join us by clicking that red subscribe button on the bottom, and also don't forget to smash that like button because it does help with the YouTube algorithm. So this is the final episode of the 12 days of Christmas, and it has been a ride for sure. And I had this crazy idea at the end of November, and I was just like, you know what, let's do it. And it was different from Vlogtober, because on Vlogtober I was skipping days, but more than anything I decided to do Vlogtober way ahead, and so I had batched some content. But with this, I literally had to be filming. Like my weekends, I would spend filming multiple content, and then each and every day I would spend editing a video, posting, editing, posting. And so I'm glad that we are at the last episode, and I've really pushed myself with this series, and I'm hoping that you guys found value in this series, and that if there are things that you want to go back into, you can go back to those videos, just rewatch them so that you can just fully understand them. And so on today's video, we're going to be closing it off, shutting it down with side hustling. And as I said, it is not going to be the typical videos that are available here on the internet on do this for extra cash. You can do this. When you do this, you're going to make 1,000 grand in like this, in this short amount of time. I'm a person that tries to avoid anything that has instant gratification. Also, another thing that I try to avoid as much as possible is quick results or quick returns, because I know that they always come with the price. And so I have learned that if I want to do anything that is sustainable, that is feeding into my soul, that fulfills me, then I need to think holistically and avoid things that are instant, avoid things that provide instant gratifications or quick results, because they always come with the price. So let us get into the point of this video. The first thing that I just wanted to highlight is the importance of having additional income. As I said in the beginning, it is quite prevalent that we need to have an additional stream of income. It's important to have it because with the bad economic crisis that we're living in, it is kind of eroding the value of our money. And so we are finding ourselves needing more money than what we would need previously, because our money now has less value than what it used to have. And so we need that additional stream of income to help substitute, to help our income, so that we can cover things that our income cannot stretch into, or also just allow us to live a decent life, a life whereby we feel fulfilled, a life whereby we are free to do the things that we enjoy, not worrying about the money. And so the part of having additional income is very important on that part as well. But also on this video, I don't just want to focus on this as just a side hustle. I also want to be speaking to people that do not have jobs right now. If you're sitting at home, you do not have a job, you do not have anything that you're doing, I really want you to take time and listen to me carefully and just think about your life holistically, because also another thing, the shift that is happening, I don't know if you guys are realizing, but for me, I really see that big shift. There's a big shift from a typical employment whereby you have to go out there, put your CV, put your applications in order for you to secure something that can bring you income. And there is a shift away from that because there are lesser opportunities and more people that are graduating. So the demand is higher than the supply. And what this is doing is it is shifting more people into the creator economy. But more than anything, it is shifting people to be able to think for themselves, to create opportunities for themselves. And with the digital age that we're living in, this is becoming more and more possible for an average person out there. You do not need to be exceptional. You do not need to be the smartest person in the room in order for you to create an income for yourself and actually build something that you can be proud of. And so I want to also talk to people that are not working, who are at home right now, who have been putting out applications but nothing is happening, to say, just because you're not getting a job, it is not the end of the world. It is not the end of you. There's so many things that you could be tapping into if you could just spend time honing in on who you are and what you're good at. Speaking of what you are good at, let's get to the next point. I really want you to take time to focus on what you're good at. So this video is not going to be telling you, do this side hustle, is going to give you this much. If you do this side hustle, it's going to do, like, try to think of this. It's not about that. This is more so about you. Learning about yourself, trusting yourself, believing in yourself, and knowing that you've got something of value that someone else is willing to pay for. And so what I want you to look at is look at the things that you are good at. And when I say the things that you are good at, look at your skills. There are so many skills that we gain as we continue living in, so long as we are alive. In certain phases of our lives, we are always gaining certain skills. If you went to university and you studied, there's some skill that you got there. There's some skill that makes you available from another person. There's some skill that you gathered from your experience in university. There is something that you're good at. If you think that you're not good at something, trust me, you're just lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself and you're being lazy to think. So please, take time to think. Not even to think, take time to look at yourself. Take time to analyze yourself. Stop numbing your mind with social media or numbing your mind with the news or alcohol, and actually take time to spend time with yourself, to learning yourself. Learning what are you good at. Everyone is good at something. If you think you are not good at something, you are just lazy to think what you're good at. And also, it might be that you are judging yourself based on other people. Maybe you might be watching my videos right now and thinking, I'm not as good as Uchenifa. I'm not as, talented as Uban Mani. I can never be successful as Uban Mani. And that is why I always say, whenever I look at someone who is successful, I always tell myself that if she can do it, if he can do it, I can do it. And so it might be that you're finding yourself comparing yourself to other people, and that makes you feel little. Now, I want you to get out of that state, because you are not little. You are more than capable of doing anything that you want. And this is not motivational talk, by the way. This is far from motivational talk. This is reality talk. You are more than capable of doing anything that you set your mind into. Just stop comparing yourself to others. What you have to bring to the table is valuable. So focus on what are you good at. Focus on what are you good at. Are you good at talking? Are you good at writing? Are you good at cooking? Are you good at baking? Are you a patient person? Are you good at organizing? Are you good at cleaning? What are you good at? And when I'm saying what are you good at, I want you to take yourself out of this professionalism way of wanting to think of your skills as if you are writing a CV. No. I'm asking you to think of random things that you know that you're good at. You are maybe good at organizing. You are maybe good at spring cleaning. Like you can spring clean like no one else. Maybe you are good at cooking. Like you are literally good. Like there's this lady who does cooking videos on TikTok. Beautiful food, and things that you can literally cook that I look at them just like, I can cook that. I sent her a direct message on TikTok and I said, can you please write an ebook of your recipes, all of these recipes that you are putting here, because when she's cooking and she puts these recipes, she'll just slap them on the screen for a short period of time, and then you can't really catch what is it that you need to be buying for you to be able to execute this recipe? So it's just like, can you please put together an ebook and sell that? We will buy that ebook because many of us are looking for easy to follow recipe, but that makes fantastic recipes. That is something that you could be good at. Are you good at baking? Are you good at writing? Are you good at speaking? Are you like, you are good at something? Trust me, you are good at something. You are. It's just that you are looking down upon yourself because the people that you're comparing yourself to are far ahead, or maybe they're doing something opposite, but still you're comparing yourself to them. And also there is this thing that we have as people of looking down at certain things. You know, for me, I respect these ladies that go cleaning people's houses. I was actually telling my partner, I was like, I need someone to help me with the cleaning now. Not that I can't clean my house, I just do not have the time to do it. And I'm sure you have realized that I don't have as much cleaning videos on my channel. Like, they're very sparse now. Before, I was doing them often, and that was because my business was not as demanding, but now it is demanding. So I was just like, next year I need to look into getting someone to clean. Now, I'm not going to hire someone permanently to come and clean. And that is also because I do not want to do that to someone. Because the thing is, when you're always looking for a job, what you're doing is you're selling all of your time to that person. You're selling all of your time to just this one person while you could be making this into a business. Instead of wanting to be employed, whereby you look after people's kids, you can actually be running this as a business that can actually eventually grow, whereby you have your own employees that are able to hop from one house to another house to another house. So the same thing that you can do when, if you're a person that is patient, person that likes helping out, you can literally be running that as a business, whereby you are hopping from one house to another house, one house. This weekend you're on this house, this weekend you're on this house, this, you know. And also because many people right now cannot afford to have stay-in nannies. They cannot afford to have stay-in helpers, but they can afford to have someone that comes in, you know, once a weekend to do the laundry, to iron it. They can afford to have a person that comes in once in a season to come and do the spring cleaning, wash the curtains, iron them, put them back, do all of that stuff. They can afford to do that because they know that they're not committing to paying a salary for someone. And I also want you to think that way, that if you are good at something that you feel like, okay, people do not want to now be looking for a job. That is the last thing I want you to be thinking about. Do not want to now be hired as a nanny for someone or as a helper for someone, while you could be actually making more money than any of these helpers that are fully employed by these people, and actually live the life that you enjoy. So do something that is fulfilling to you, because you've got control of your time and hours, whereby you decide when you want to take off. You decide whereby you need to take leave. You've got freedom of your time. But the thing is, for many of us, we tend to look down on ourselves. We look down on certain professions or certain skills because we think like that is not good enough. Like, why would I be wanting to wash laundry for people? Why would I be wanting to clean for people? Why would I want to be looking after children for people? Like, we look down at a lot of things. And then we think that getting a job is a solution because once we have a job, we do not have to think for ourselves. That is the reason why most of us enjoy our jobs, because already someone else has decided for you when you're supposed to come to work, when you're supposed to leave. Already someone has decided for you what you have to do, what are your deliverables. And so the thinking part only comes in the execution. But in other things, you really don't have to be bothered by. And that is where I would really want to encourage you to just try to think away from those points, because so long as you're thinking that your solution is by getting employment from someone else, then you're really going to struggle. Like right now, I would love to get someone to help me with bookkeeping, but I do not have money to pay anyone full-time to help me with bookkeeping. But there really isn't much people putting themselves out there for even those typical skills of the fact that you are just good with money. You are good with, not even with money, you are good with numbers. You are good with spreadsheets. You are good at analyzing information. But people don't look at that as a skill that they can monetize, put out there for someone else to buy. They just don't look at that. And you could be doing this whereby you are working with small businesses, helping them to structure their finances in terms of their bookkeeping. making sure that what is coming in, what is going out, the expenses, the sales, it is all recorded. But people are not looking in those things. They're just not, because we are conditioned, and I'm going to say it, we are conditioned to always look for a job. We are conditioned to think that we must go to school, so that once we are done at school, then we must look for a job. Like for me, there was a point whereby I was designing people's websites. I was designing websites. I did not know coding. I still don't know coding. But the way that technology is so advanced now, you are able to design a website without knowing any coding. There are people who have a computer right now, who've got Wi-Fi, who would rather sit on that computer, spending hours and hours sitting on Netflix, rather than to say, I've got these resources, what can I do that can help me to make some money? Okay, the next point that we need to look at is learning to solve your problems and then selling that. So the thing is, most of the time when we're looking at side hustles, we're looking at something that is easy, something that someone has already thought for, packaged it, and then you just have to use that. And that is why I say that is not sustainable. But there is power in the challenges that you have went through, the problems that you have encountered in life, that you have managed to get through and come out on the other side having won that, having succeeded. And there's so much power into that. And so what I'm asking you to do is look at those challenges, look at those problems that you have experienced, found a solution for, and then came out on the other side victorious. Use that, package that, sell that. I'll give you an example of how I do that. The first thing is the journals. The journals for me came as a frustration for myself. It was a frustration for me that each and every month I have to sit down, spend 2 hours creating spreads for that month, then filming that, and then putting it out here. So I would spend a lot of time in the creation part, and by the time I get to filming, I was exhausted. And every time I would do my monthly research, I would dread it, because I would think of the amount of time that I have to put in doing that. That was a problem for me. And then I identified a solution to say, okay, then maybe let me create a journal that will already have spreads. How can I go about that? And then I honed into my skills of just being creative, being able to design things. And I honed into that. I used my skills to create a solution for my problem, which I knew that would solve other people's problems out there based on the feedback that I had received. And so you need to do the same, whereby use the problems, take the problems that you have encountered, the problems that you see, find a solution for that, package that, sell it. Once you learn to solve your own problems and then focus on solving other people's problems, you'll find that the part of creating additional stream of income, as much as it will come with challenges, but it will be more fulfilling. It is more fulfilling for me when I know that you guys are going to be using the journals. It is very fulfilling. It was fulfilling knowing that the journals are done being designed and now they're in your hands and you're going to use them and you're going to benefit from them. For me, that is more fulfilling than to sit and spend hours on surveys online that I don't even know who created them and what they are feeding into. For me, it is more fulfilling because I know the problem that they are solving. And so even talking about my journals, even talking about my problem, my products, is not a challenge for me because I understand what I'm selling. I understand what I'm doing. And so solve your problems, package that and sell that. And don't be scared to sell. There's nothing wrong with selling. Absolutely nothing wrong with selling, especially when you know that you're solving a problem. Because once you're solving a problem, the selling part is taken care of. You don't even need to be worrying about selling. Like I'm sure you guys have noticed, I do not do a lot of buy. But I was able to sell out on my journals. Why? Because I solved the problem. And then I made it clear that how does this solve the problem? And I don't even need to tell you about the product and define, oh, this is good at this. These are the features and what. I only did one flip through video, which landed me with so many sales. And that is because already the problem was there and the solution was then provided. A solution was then provided, and it all started with me experiencing a problem that I needed a solution for, that I felt like a solution was not there. I created a solution for my problem, and then I packaged that, and then I sold it. Let's come to the debt payment plan. I have been in debt. I was able to pay off my debt, and I was able to pay off majority of my debt because I sat down and I created a plan. So the same systems that I then packaged and created a product for, it is something that I had done, something that I know it works, something that I can vouch for because for me it worked. It's just that now I packaged it in a way that it will make sense for another person. And so I'm selling that as a product. And even that, I don't have to worry about constantly selling it to people and trying to tell them, I've got this will do this and that. No, because I understand that the right person will find it and then they will see the value of it and then they will buy it. And so the part of selling is already taken care of it. So every product that I'm releasing, even with the budgeting sheets that are created, they solve the problem for many people who wanted to budget, but they just were confused. Where do I start? It was already there. And people for less than 100 rands, they were able to buy those sheets from my website and actually start budgeting. And so you see here, I'm solving the problem and then I'm packaging that and then I'm selling that. So what I'm asking you to do is spend time looking at the things that you have overcame or any problem that exists that you feel like you would love to solve or you have a possible solution for it. Package that, sell that. And also another thing is, do not shy away from social media. I know that for most people who want to be influencers, be posting pictures of ourselves and us living the life and all that stuff. But I do not like the influencer economy or the influencer business, because you are constantly relying on brands to come to you, or you must pitch yourself to brands so that they can see the value in you, then be willing to pay you. I do not like that. For the fact that I have a 9-to-5 job where I already have to sell my time, my skills, my energy to someone else or to the system, because I don't work for a person, I work for a system, which is public system. I do not like that I still have to come back and spend so much time, so much of my energy, then selling my time again to someone else, selling my time to brands and all the stuff. And so I know that being an influencer is something that we look up to. I don't look up to that. But I know that for many people, they like the idea of working with brands, posting pictures of themselves, living their life. But I really just want you to think beyond that. I want to challenge you to think beyond that, because it is also not sustainable to always be waiting for brands to pay you. It is not sustainable. And that is why many influencers who are business-minded now, they are creating their own products that they know that they can have control over their income. And so I want you to start using social media beyond just posting pictures. Start using social media as a brand. If there's something that you are so passionate about that you want to communicate that. Communicate that. Trust me, there's someone who is willing to listen to that, someone who's waiting for someone like you to talk about that thing. And the more you talk about that thing, you build a community. And then you bring in now these problems that you have identified, you create a solution, you package that, you sell that, you then get clients, you then start making money. You then can make money from that. And so I want you to think beyond just posting normal pictures on social media. And I also want you to think beyond just consuming on social media and start creating, and create in a way that it is sustainable. Create a brand that solves a problem for someone. Let me just put it like that. Because from there, as you are growing in your brand, you can always create things, various products that can help your community. And so I want you to look at the problems that you have seen, problems that you have experienced, that you have overcame, or that you have possible solutions for. Package that, sell that. And then the last thing, I want you to look at things that people need but do not have time to do. Because if you can find things that people are willing to pay for, they need, but they just do not have time for that, you will win the game as well. You will win this part of side hustling or just getting additional stream of income, or actually finding a business. You do not have to think of things outside the box. You do not have to think of things that haven't been done. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you can just look at things that other people need but that you just don't have time to do. I want to clean my house. It's important for my house to be clean, but I don't always have the time. I don't. I want to have nice meals, but I just do not have the right information for me to be able to cook the right meals that I want, to explore with the meals. Like, you see what I'm trying to put down here. What I'm saying here is there's something that someone is willing to pay for, but they just do not have the time to do it. Look at those things as well. The point of this video, or what I'm trying to relay here, is think beyond side hustling. Think beyond the random side hustles that are available online, and try to focus on your skills, your abilities, your capabilities, the things that you are strong at, the problems that you have overcame, and then package that into solutions and put yourself out there and actually start solving people's problems. That way, you will always have a stream of income that is not relying on other people, but just you creating something and putting it out there. Like for me, I will be sleeping and then I'll get an order once in a while of someone buying the debt payoff plan. I don't need for people to be buying them in thousands, but I know that because it's in my website and it's digital, people are just going to buy it when they buy it. And now I'm making hundreds and something that I can count as an additional income for myself. And so I want you to think beyond just side hustling, and I want you to eventually graduate to looking at this as a business. I want you to look beyond having a normal job. There's nothing wrong with having a normal job, but if you're a person that is unemployed right now, I want you to understand that you are more than capable of creating income for yourself. So with that being said, we have come to the end of this video. I hope that you guys found value in this, and as I said, I want you to think differently. When we're thinking of side hustles, think differently, challenge yourself, and if you really feel like you do not have the time, then I don't think that trying to find an additional stream of income is for you. If you feel like you are always exhausted after work, and you do not have any energy to put into anything, or you don't want to put in your energy on anything else, then side hustling, finding additional stream of income is not going to be possible for you, because finding an additional stream of income will require you to put in the work. You're not just going to have money randomly coming on your lap. You are going to have to put in the hours, the time, the effort, the dedication in order for you to do that, and you need to be willing to do that. Anyway, with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one, which is going to be the Sunday video, whereby I'm going to be doing the cash stuffing for the holidays, and then I'll also be posting shorts there and there, just so that you see that I'm still around. Please take care, enjoy your holidays, and stay safe. Bye.